Hanging out in Pennellville today with Mike Watkins, former racer, busy in his garage today where he has a lot of cool stuff coming in and out of here. Any of you who know Mike Watkins know he loves two things. Racing, of course, but also restoring vehicles. He's been doing a lot this year, and one that we have right now is something I think you guys in racing might really like. How are we doing, Mike?
Doing very good, Doug. You?
You're doing very well. All right,
Thanks.
let's look at this. Come on with me here. This is what now, Mike? What is this?
This is a dirt sportsman. It's a Troyer dirt sportsman. Back in the day, probably ran over to Wheatsport. It's been sitting in a storage container for a little while, and I picked it up, and it's complete, race ready. It fires right up, and sounds really good. It's got a 358 open motor in it, and it's got a lot of cool stuff that you had to have in the late 90s at Wheatsport and stuff. So as you will go over, we got the fire system on board, and it's got the old race safe still in it. And,
haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. It's got an MSD box that Dirt had back in the day out there on them. So, and it's got a Holly 500 2-barrel, which is mounted sideways in there.
Yeah, that's what they did with the Open Sportsman back in the day. So about it doing better in the corners, I think, was the thought process with fuel delivery, but I'm not exactly sure. So the next question, obviously, is there a comeback? And because this looks like a vintage car, basically ready to go. Are you going to try it and race it?
That was my initial plan, to get it running, playing with it. But my grandson, James Donaldson, is racing sportsman, and I've been tying up a lot of my time and money in that. So I'm probably going to move this down the road and let somebody else enjoy it.
Okay.
Put a seat cover on it and put a fire suit on it and put some fuel in, you'll be able to go.
Ready to go.
Ready.
So it fires, it drives, all that stuff. You moved it around, all that?
Yes, sir. We drove it in the garage, and we can drive it up on any trailer that comes. It's ready to go.
So you estimate late 90s Troyer, and obviously some of you guys who know a little bit more about that would maybe even know just from looking at this exactly what it is. And if you turn it into a vintage, you just have to get rid of those side panels. And of course on the other side, you can actually see. So headers and everything, this thing is you could race it tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah, you could take it and, do a little bit of things, whatever you do to fine tune them, and it'd be ready to go. Get in there and do what you got to do.
I'm going to have to count my pennies. What are you thinking? Go. 7, you said?
Yeah,
I'll
probably sell it for $7,000, and let it roll.
Man.
Somebody could just go racing, I took the panels. I have all the panels for this side. I just took them off there because I was tinkering with the starter and fuel pump. It's all, legit. It's pretty good.
Speaking of starter, let's hear it. Of course, I haven't heard a race motor in a while, so I had to make sure I had Mike start this thing today. I was not going to let that up. Nice.
Shut that off there.
Ready to go.
Yeah, pop that breather off real quick for you, Doug.
Okay.
It's pretty neat setup. With the way they had it, and I talked to a couple guys at Race Sportsman back, and that was the setup doing that.
So there's your 2-barrel, the 500, like we said, and that's a different intake. It's a Brodex intake, Holly carburetor, MSD box, as you can see right there. So this thing is ready to go.
Yeah.
Mike
plugs.
Brand new plugs?
No, angle plugs in the head, so it's got angle plugs in it. That's a big thing.
I didn't know that. That's a new one for me. See, the shroud's all set, so you're good to go there. Inside, you can see standard inside. There's the 2-speed, the old style 2-speed.
Yeah.
And of course, the hand clutch is in there and everything.
Yes,
so
sir,
gauges are all set and ready to go. And what he was talking about, there's the fire suppression system. Let me get that in focus for you so you can see it a little better. There it is right there. Fuel cell is in it. So, man, I can't think of anything else you would need right here, right? I mean...
No, it's got some pretty good tires on it. Actually, my grandson was nice enough to give me some of his Sportsman tires. We just put newer ones on his, and he's got a few races on them. That one's got no races on it up there.
Steel wheels?
There's 2 steel wheels on this side, aluminum wheels on the other side.
Okay. And we'll go around the back. And you can see, you tell a lot by the body style right there, too. Those of you guys who raced in the late 90s, early 2000s, you remember these body styles were very common. There's the bumper all set, ready to go. You can see the fuel cell. So, man, part of you, Mike, just, because I know you, if this doesn't sell right away, you might end up taking this thing out once just to have some fun yourself, right?
It'll definitely be going to the track because that's the best way to sell it. So If I end up taking it there, and then we'll sell it at the track, somebody will want to play. So.
Yeah.
And the car is straight. I mean, we'll jack it up, leave it jacked up. People can crawl under it, look at, drive it in and out of the garage. I mean, the car's straight.
I like it. I hope you do hold on to it. Maybe you'll let me drive it in the spring.
Sure.
So,
I'm in there.
oh, so that's the deal. All right, so if it doesn't sell by spring, guys, I got a new suit. I'll get in there. It doesn't match the car, but we'll work with that at that point. Gears are in there. I'm sure you don't know what they are, but it's all set and ready to go. And just to give you a little teaser, Mike, we're going around the corners. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Mike has been going back and forth to Alabama. Here's something I think a lot of you people are going to... Man, these old VW buses are high in demand, aren't they?
That is correct. And this has got the pop-up camper style on it, and it's so solid underneath, and it's got a little surface rust on the outside, but I had it on the road in Alabama. I drove that around down there, and it needs the inside done. I just tore the inside all apart and going to maybe do some stuff unless I sell it first, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I tinker with them. Somebody comes, they want to buy it, they can buy it as is. It's a little bit cheaper than me finishing it.
That was always a dream of mine as a kid. I just never had the mechanical ability to do all that stuff. So I'm envious, Mike. Again, this is up in Pennellville, so get a hold of Mike, get a hold of me if you want. And because I got to tell you, this is really something, and can't wait to see this thing on the track. Vintage car, ready to go. Mike, thanks for having me out, man.
Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate it.
Hit the blue E, guys. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And we're coming up with one more thing here today, a little bit later on. Thanks, guys.